What if I told you that in the very near future you will be paid to sleep? You heard that right. Sleep.
Do you think it's possible to put a big game commercial in someone's dream?
It would be possible. I'm Deirdre Barrett. I'm a dream psychologist. I teach courses on dreams and do dream research. My doctorate is in clinical psychology, and I'm editor-in-chief of their journal, Dreaming.
It's no longer just a Black Mirror trope. In 2021, a group of 40 researchers from institutions like Harvard and MIT issued a formal warning to the public. They weren't reacting to a movie, they were reacting to a marketing campaign by Coors. The brand had launched an experiment in targeted dream incubation, using soundscapes and visual cues to try and program refreshing dreams of mountain streams and beer into the minds of sleeping consumers. The scientists called it a slippery slope toward the commercial weaponization of sleep. This commercial intrusion was made possible by a process called targeted dream incubation, or TDI. At the center of this field is a device developed at MIT called Dormio. It's a specialized wearable designed to track the precise moment you enter hypnagogia, that fragile, semi-lucid state between wakefulness and sleep. By monitoring heart rate and muscle tension, Dormio waits for the exact millisecond your logical mind lets go, and then it strikes. It plays specific audio cues, whispers, sounds, commands, that the brain in its defenseless state is forced to incorporate into its own narrative. It is the first functional read-write interface for the human subconscious. But advertising is just the gateway. Imagine you wake up, grab your phone, and see a bank alert. While you were out, the grid was in. It mined your brain, grabbed your dream patterns, and turned them into cash. It's the ultimate passive income. But as you watch your balance rise, you have to wonder, what exactly did you sell to earn it? The truth is, you are no longer sleeping to dream. You're a bio-node renting out your brain's idle time to the network. Welcome to the night shift labor market, where your sleep is the most precious commercial asset on the planet. In your REM sleep, your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that handles logic, impulse control, and linear time, is essentially shut down. Acetylcholine floods your system and forces your mind into a state of uncontrolled hyperassociation. In this state, your brain isn't just dreaming, it is a lightning-fast connection maker. It ignores the rules of logic, linking abstract concepts and complex data with clinical precision. For the grid, your sleep isn't just rest, it is the perfect medium for pattern recognition and neural network validation. You are the hardware, your sleep is the crop. They told us it would be the end of poverty, a world where your only job was to close your eyes. We thought we were entering an age of limitless freedom, but the grid doesn't give anything away for free. We didn't realize that when they started farming our dreams, they weren't just looking for solutions, they were looking for space. And they took it from our memories. So why is the grid so desperate for your sleep? Computers are built for math, but they completely lack emotions and sensory perception to ground AI in physical reality. For the grid, your brain is the only device capable of true abstract synthesis. This is what they call dream farming. By plugging millions of sleeping minds into a single network, the grid creates a biological supercomputer. It's not just training AI anymore. They're using your hyperassociative REM state to patch the gaps in the grid's fragmented understanding of the world. Millions of bionodes are plugged into the stream with logic mind off to synthesize the breakthroughs that math can't solve. They pair industrial data with the raw, chaotic creativity of the human mind. By dawn, the grid has answers that no algorithm could ever find on its own. The grid isn't just copying human intelligence, it is harvesting your cognitive surplus. But you can't run industrial-grade data through a human brain without leaving damage. This is the hidden tax that comes with every payment. The side effects the grid calls system noise, but bionodes call the fade. First comes memory shadowing. You wake up with a heavy heart over a spouse you've never met, or missing a childhood home you've never seen. These are ghost memories, fragments of another bionode's life, abandoned in the neural pathways you both shared on the network. Then comes the anchor loss. You go to type your password and realize you can't recall your mother's maiden name, just so a corporation could use your mind to calculate another tax loophole. You stare at your reflection in the mirror and wait for the recognition to kick in, but it never does. The grid needed that specific neural space for a high-priority calculation, so it simply overrode it. Finally, the chronological fragmentation kicks in. Your sense of time starts to drift. You close your eyes on Friday night and wake up to your phone buzzing Monday morning. You haven't just slept, you've been offline. You've lost an entire weekend to the network, processed into data that you'll never understand. You aren't just renting your time anymore. You are liquidating your memories. But if the grid is deleting who you were and replacing it with what they need, who exactly is waking up every morning? Every field gets overfarmed eventually. In the world of dream farming, there's only so much noise a brain can take before it breaks. There is a hard limit to the hardware. This is what they call neural depletion. It's not just exhaustion. It's a permanent loss of your own mind. Your brain has been mined and overfarmed for so long that it can no longer generate its own thoughts. You've been rewritten so many times that there's nothing left of the original you. Now when you close your eyes, you see nothing. No faces, no memories, no colors. Just the empty, black static of the network. You aren't a human anymore. You're an emptied out node, and the grid has already found a replacement. But in the shadows of the high-rises, a new class is emerging. They call themselves the REM Renegades. These are the people who refuse to sell their sleep. They live off the grid in a world that's always on, protecting the only private space left, their own minds. They are the only ones left who still see their own dreams. But in a world controlled by the grid, staying offline comes with a brutal price. The world economy now runs on REM cycles. If you don't lease your sleep, you can't pay rent. If you don't rent out your brain, you don't get to eat. You have a brutal choice: solid bank account and an empty head, or a soul that you can't afford to feed. It's the ultimate trap. By the time you realize what you've lost, you're already too deep in debt to unplug. So the next time your phone buzzes with that morning deposit, pause for a second. Check your memories. Because within the night shift market, the richest people aren't the ones with the most money. They're the ones who still have their own thoughts. And the most expensive thing you will ever own is a dream that belongs only to you. How much of your memory would you lease out for a $500 deposit? Drop your price in the comments. Your mind is the only private space you have left. Subscribe to keep it that way. Like and share to find others who haven't sold out yet. This was Barely Muted. See you in the next video.